The Boiler Room, and it is International Women's Week here. It's actually on March the 8th, it's International Women's Day, so the Boiler Room have events running all through the week celebrating wonderful women. My name's Erika, and we are here for the Creative Courage Circle tonight. The Creative Courage Circle is a mashup of a songwriting circle and we have creatives tonight as well, and a mashup of a songwriting circle and what I like to call a pussy storm, which is basically a celebration of women. So first up we have Emma, a singer-songwriter Emma, hailing from Australia. Hello. And then we have Emily Ann on guitar, also a singer-songwriter. And we have a creative, some of you might know her as well. She's a legend around Guildford. We have Lydia Stockbridge. And my name's Erika. So I'm going to start, and then after each round, I will ask a question that is specifically focused for women to be able to express something that they might not be able to do in everyday life situations. So my first song for you guys is a song called Eggshells. This is actually a song that was written by a friend of mine, and I heard it for the first time and it blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. But then he kind of shelved it, and then I said to him, oh, what have you ever done with that song Eggshells? And he said, oh, I don't know, just this and that, and a bit disheartened. And I said, can I take it and kind of look at it, and would you be okay if I rewrote it? And that's the first time I've ever done anything like that as a songwriter. So I did it and kind of made it not about one specific. He was about one specific addiction for him, but I wrote it about kind of more of a family dysfunction. So certain roles that you might find within addictive behaviour. So this song's called Eggshells. She's nearly 7 stone today. Can't you tell the extra weight? Nothing's wrong, she's in control. She knows everything's alright. He had a drink today. It's okay, it's past midday. Nothing's wrong, comfortably numb. He knows everything's alright. But then they weep and crumble to the floor into a deep, and everybody walks on eggshells, taking on all their pain. She knows that they'll never change. Nothing's wrong, she can be strong, 'cause she has to be alright. But then she weeps and crumbles to the floor into deep, and everybody walks on eggshells. Just have to speak. A problem shared is a problem halved. A little win, then nobody has to walk on eggshells. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, and then they weep and crumble to the floor into deep, and everybody walks on eggshells. Just have to speak. problem shared is a problem halved. A little wind, then nobody has to walk on eggshells. Just have to speak. A problem shared is a problem halved. A little wind, then nobody has to walk on eggshells. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you, I want to see you. Every time I see you. Thank you. Okay, so the first question is a brag. What is a brag? And the reason, this is a tough one. We were chatting about this earlier, weren't we? And just saying how hard it is for women to say how amazing we are. Yeah. So what is my brag? My brag is... My brag is that during this last year, you know, it probably could have been easy to not do all that much, like writing and gigging as well, especially gigging. And actually, it's been really nice to... no, I nearly made about something else then. Bring it back to me. My brag is that I managed to continue gigging throughout the whole year and doing these creative courage circles every month and creating a platform for women and being there as a support for other women. Yeah, that is my brag.
You've been amazing with your live streams and stuff in general throughout lockdown and stuff. I've seen some of them. And
Thank you.
So yeah, it should be your brag.
Cool. So we're going to go over to you, Emma.
Cool.
What are you going to play for us?
Okay, so this is probably the most recent song I've written, and I set myself the challenge of writing a lullaby because we were playing around with stuff at uni, and I was playing around with weird chords and stuff, and I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And I was like, oh, well, write a lullaby and see what happens from it. So this is The Chord of Dreams. Hush, little darling, don't you cry. The northern lights are on your side until the morning's rise. Hush, little darling, don't you hear the wind laughing up high with old stories of spring dancing, and lay down to sleep. Tomorrow you'll see that things aren't always what they seem in the chord of dreams. Hush, little darling, don't you see the city across the veil where stars fall free on wings? But don't you worry, explore the deep, for things are aren't always what they seem in the court of dreams. In the court of dreams. Thank you.
Oh, stunning. Emma, your voice. Oh. Like your first note, and I was like, oh, got shivers.
So
Oh.
it's the hush, and I'm like, oh.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank
Emma,
you.
what is your brag?
Oh gosh. Oh, I've been trying to think about this, and I've been failing epically. So my
Can we
brag.
rephrase that? Let's rephrase
Okay.
that. Let's rephrase that.
I was. No, okay.
You're finding it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brag is over this last lockdown period, I think I've written some of the best songs that I have in my catalog. So that was a big moment and a nice sort of like, ooh, like I'm being productive and I'm still moving forward. And so yeah, that's my brag.
Good brag. Good brag.
Very good, brag.
Thanks, Emma. I love it. And we've got loads of we've got Kim Nanny's going, Emma! We've got woo, lots of woos and claps. So yeah, it's great. And do write in. We've got iPads here, so we're keeping an eye on the chat. So, if you also want to tell us your brags, feel free to brag as well. We want to hear your brags. Amazing. So we're going to go over to Emily Ann now. How are you doing, Emily Ann? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
And,
right, so this song I'm going to sing is called Confused. And I wrote this kind of at the start of the first lockdown, and it's just being confused about life, because, everyone is at one point. And it's funny now, like singing this now, I've found myself so much throughout 2020 especially. Singing it is so refreshing because I'm like, wow, I'm in such a different place to where I was when I wrote this. So I love performing this, and it's really fun to perform as well. So yeah,
Great.
This is Confused.
Thank you.
I don't need drugs to stop this feeling, 'cause all I'm feeling is a little bit drunk from overthinking, and now I'm sinking in all of my thoughts. So I just wish my brain would just shut off. I need a moment of silence, rethink my own alliance. Got a new place in the city, another year, but I'm still the same. Everyone's looking pretty. No, I don't understand this game, and I've only got me to blame. I know it's annoying. The same old thoughts keep unfolding, no matter how deep I bury them. I try to ignore it, deny my emotions. Am I too scared of the truth? I'm so confused. I go out with my friends where the music's so loud it drowns my voice out. It's a temporary phase from my overthinking, and now I'm wishing I never even came out. Thought this would distract me, but I was wrong. And now I just wanna go home. I know it's annoying. The same old thoughts keep unfolding, no matter how deep I bury them. I try to ignore it, deny my emotions. Am am I too scared of the truth? I'm so confused. Yeah, I'm so confused. I don't get it, no, I don't understand me anymore. I don't get it, no, I don't understand me anymore. I don't, I'm so confused with this feeling. Yeah, I'm so confused. No, I don't understand it, no. I'm so confused with this feeling. Yeah, I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
Thank you, Emilia. That was so good.
As you can tell, I'm confused. You knew.
I think we can all relate to that. So, Emilia, what is your brag?
Again, I also struggled with this one a lot. I think what I thought of is that for me, I can just sit in my room and I can produce my music and I can write by myself. I love co-writing and co-producing, but I can do it all myself almost. And I think that's what I love. And I love how, especially with producers, like females in the industry, producers, I think I saw like a statistic, it was like 3% or something crazy. So that's kind of something that I pride myself in. I like to go like, I wrote that song by myself, I produced that by myself. And I think that's something that I feel quite, braggy about, I guess. Yeah.
Proud of you. Yeah, great brag. Really good brag. Yes, and more women in tech, more women producers, definitely. Thank you. Lydia.
Hello.
So Lydia, you are a creative writer?
I am, yeah.
Yes. And what are you going to be, what excerpts are you going to be
Oh,
reading us
yes.
today?
Yeah, so I'll bring them up before I...
Oh, just quickly
There
as
we
well,
go.
we've just got some amazing, go Emily, so good Emily, amazing from Juan and Sean, and Elena as well from Italy, saying, oh my God, wow, nice guitar work, I love it, and proud mum and dad moment as well. So yeah, they're watching from Oz?
They're watching from Oz. They got up at 5 this morning.
Wow. Legends,
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out, and there's mum and dad, well done, good stuff. Sorry,
Amazing.
Lydia.
No, not at all, not at all. Yeah, so I'm reading, it's a bit of an extract that I'd like to make into a longer piece. Thinking back, I think I wrote it in like October last year.
Great.
So it was kind of when, it was quite a cathartic piece to write. It was kind of when we weren't really sure what was going on with live music, when we were going to be able to come back, but trying to feel hopeful at the same time. So hopefully that'll come across. And you might guess where I'm writing about. Give you a big clue, I work there. Okay, yeah. I hurried along the overgrown footpath, warding off brambles and leaning branches like open palms warning me not to go further. The sirens whined in the distance, echoing off the broken walls of houses left deserted. Looking over my shoulder, I picked my way along the fence of the lot, a smudge of a full moon lighting the way, fog blanketing the sky, protection from the beams of light sweeping overhead, in time with the rise and fall of the siren. The path narrowed at the corner to a gap in the fence obscured by hedgerow. Squeezing through, taking care not to leave any trace on the thorns that plucked at my clothes, a pinprick red glow in the distance guided my way. She was waiting for me. Hunched against the cold, I could make out her figure in the recess of the wall. She shifted slightly, head bowed to an imperceptible nod as I approached. We were right in the centre now of the abandoned quarter. Long ago, she told me, this was the heart of the city. A beating metropolis of shops, schools, bars and supermarkets. I could see them in my mind's eye, people scurrying to and fro, going about their daily lives. The siren call had faded into the distance now. Patrols were few here. Not many were bold enough to break curfew. And why bother? There was nothing here for them anymore. Give us a go on that. Reaching for the lit smoke cradled in her hands. Sure, have what's left of it. The heady rush from the nicotine was intoxicating. Have you got them? Yes. It took a little longer than I thought, but no one's noticed them gone. Good. Let's get started then. I fumbled around in my backpack for keys, listening for the faint jingle in the dark as my fingernails scraped against the sides. I hauled the jangling bundle out and turned each key over in my hand before finding the one I wanted. Gold glinting in the gloom of the corridor, the edges worn smooth over the years. It took a bit of twisting and jimmying for the lock to finally click and the heavy door to swing open. Dust spilled out from the frame as we stepped into the dark. Hold on, I'll hit the lights. Get a move on, we haven't got all night. Pulling the backpack onto my shoulder, I raised my arm out to find the wall on the right. My fingertips made contact with cold, dusty brickwork, and I stepped cautiously, feeling my way along, shuffling across floorboards. I inched slowly along until my foot met the air and took a step slowly down further into the murk. I could see a shaft of light up ahead above me from a skylight partially obscured with sodden leaves. As I got closer, motes of dust danced in the pillar of light. They moved faster as I walked towards it, as though my presence had awakened them. I could make out the old bar across from me and started at my own reflection. A pale, ghostly figure looked back from silvered mirrors behind. Placing my backpack down, I took out my torchlight and made my way round the bar. The shelves had not been touched since it happened. Rows of glass bottles with peeling labels stood wearily to attention, patiently waiting. I found the light switch, and with a great clank, the overhead lights came to life. The silence filled this once hallowed space. Leaning my elbows on the bar top, I stared out over the room, eyes adjusting to the brightness. We haven't got time to spend mooning about. When are the others coming? Sorry, I don't know. I told them to meet us here. Thought they were coming with you? Obviously not, or I wouldn't be hanging about outside on my Todd. She was always at her most cantankerous when she was nervous. I sighed and made my way back to the door. I don't need your help. I can see where I'm going. She flinched her arm away from me and started determinedly over to the other side of the room. The old console was still there, in the booth, a dust-caked cover over the controls. The moonlight through the broken windows bathed the switches behind the desk. Swinging her tattered scarf firmly over her shoulder, she heaved the old hatch to the sound booth on creaking hinges to the side. It scraped along the wooden floor before it gave way and clattered down onto the floor. This was the nerve centre of the place, the key to all our nights spent concocting and rehashing plans. If it still worked, we might just have something. Are you going to help me or what? Yeah, sorry, how does it work? See those switches? Flip them all on, right to left, leave the big red till last. 10 switches in all, with faded stickers underneath, worn away over time. Thunk. A low-level humming buzz. A stage light slowly whirled round from the floor and faced towards us in a loud white flash and pop, watching us. Yes, next one now. Snap. Lights in greens, reds, purples glowed from under the cover of the desk. She whipped it off and they shone out, illuminating our faces through the dust cloud. I'd never seen her smile before. It was more like a maniacal grin. Shit, I forgot to turn the amps on. You want me to do it? No, I've got it. Keep switching. Another series of thunks, bangs and electrical pops as speakers came to life around the room. My left ear began to whine, from a dull buzz into a shrill pitch, like a dial being changed on an out-of-tune radio. Ears ringing, I could see before my eyes, as though conjured, the former cacophony of crowds, sweating, writhing bodies moving in time to rhythmic pulses, condensation dripping from the ceiling to floor and steaming up the windows, the sweet sour pitch of beer spilling over from raised glasses. She came back towards me in the booth, beaming ear to ear with that sinister grin, 2 dark brown bottles raised aloft, pilfered from the bar. It works. It bloody works after all this time. What do we do now? Thanks, guys.
Oh, Liz, that's so good. It totally, like, I was like, oh.
I feel like I'm in my own little world. I'm just keep reading.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have
Oh,
to play, it's
thank you,
fine. We're
guys.
just listening. It's like bedtime stories with Liz. Oh, so
thank you,
good.
guys. Yeah.
Lydia, what is your brag?
Well, I think this was an easy one for me. This is the first time I've ever performed or done anything on this stage. So thanks for having me,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, it's lovely to share it with such talented people. So thank you, guys.
Good brag, Lydia.
Thank
Seriously. Because you told me, you were like, oh, I've just, just in passing, oh, I've just done some creative writing. I was like, oh.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? I'll bag that one in the brain. We
Yeah.
have everyone saying, love that, bravo from Laura, duck and weave tunes, lots of claps. We love you, Lydia. Susie says, amazing, Lydia.
Oh,
All the
thanks,
love.
guys.
And Mr. Maracoco
Oh,
says,
yes.
wow.
Oh,
and great
thank you.
brag, too.
Oh.
Oh, right, back to me. Hi, Frida. Are you going to do something too? Oh, gorgeous. So my next song is a song called Dot to Dot. And I did have a pedal, but it was being really noisy. So I'm actually going to ask Emma to play little bits and pieces. And then I was like, do you know what? Just do stuff and, go for it. So whatever comes out, comes out. So it's a bit of a wild jam.
Yeah.
Kind of a spoken word jam, which would be kind of nice. But this song, I actually did it using cut-up methods. So I was in my friend's toilet and I got a magazine from the toilet. I don't know how cleanly that is. And basically cut it up, put all the words in my hat, and then I pulled out words and then things started to form. And what I love about cut-up method as well is that you think the words don't mean anything to you, and then suddenly things come, and then you end up getting inspired to write something else, and then suddenly, it really works with the subconscious. And so I'd always wanted to write about kind of the idea how, we are just energy bumbling along on this little blue planet, and how mad that is. Because I'm that dick friend that's like, oh my God, guys, we're balancing on a ball like in mid-space of like nothing. And I'm like, okay, Erika, go to bed. It's 3 a.m. Aren't you like, I'm that one. And I thought, I'm going to write about it, and it's, it all just kind of really formed. It's one of those songs that just comes really quick. So this is Dot to Dot. Oh yeah. Mind out equals the storm. Pressing the sun. Girls lost in masculine woods, twisted, twirled and pushed, heads turn. Clean designs of office scent, of which stage of life does this present? Dots, 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 hold on. Reaching, talking on. Real pixels of everyday life. Too small to be seen. Too small to be seen. It's dots, dots, dots. Hold on. Dots, 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 connecting, reaching, lost dots. We live in a pale blue dot. Men lost in Lost Boys. Dance, 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 hold on. Reaching, talking on. Real pixels of everyday life. Too small to be seen. Too small to be seen. It's dance, 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 hold on. Dance, 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 connecting, 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 connecting. Thank you. Thank you so much, Emma.
Pleasure.
So nice to play with another person in a row. Oh, so nice. Okay, so round 2, we are on gratitude. So what are we grateful for? So today is, well, not only am I surrounded by amazing women, but it's also Girls' Day in Japan, Hinamatsuri, which is part of my heritage. And every year we have dolls put out, so we display these beautiful dolls. And ever since I was a little girl, my mum would put them out every year. So I'm really grateful to have grown up in a household where we really celebrated women. And my mum's a real matriarch. She is so strong, and she's always filled me and all my sisters. I've got 3 girls, so it's all girls in our house. That we can do anything, and we just have to be willing to try and do it. And not only does she say it, but she does it. So she would work in the city, she's written 3 books, all while feeding us and, making sure there was food on the table. And, it was, yeah. So I'm really grateful for an incredible female role model, who's my mum. Yeah. Thank you, Mama. And happy Hinamatsuri to everyone as well. Happy Girls' Day.
Yeah.
So Emma, what's your second song?
Okay, so this is a sort of new song. It's a song I've been co-writing with an incredible songwriter called David Boyden. And I'd seen a trailer or some sort of article about a story about the Radium Girls of World War I. And I was like, I've never heard anything about this. Like, what is it about? And I read it and was so moved by the situation that these girls found themselves in. And they really were left out in the cold after doing a job that they thought was very good, and they were going to go off and live their lives, and their lives were cut short in their 20s because of their job. And it was heartbreaking, and I was like, why didn't I learn this at school? Like, this is not something that is talked about. So I wanted to write a song about like their first part of their story. So this is Ghost Girls. Would help if I octaved the piano. There we go. Much better. Okay. hopeful young women finally starting the 9 to 5 to protect their boys fighting on the front. An easy job for small hands, lick, dip and paint a clock face so it glows. They didn't know ghost girls. Unearthly light shining from their heads to their toes told roses would grow in their cheeks, red and bold. Painting their teeth would surely knock a suitor dead in the dance halls. They didn't know ghost girls. They didn't know. A poster girl glow on honeycomb bones, endless toothaches plague them, cutting their laughter short. And how were they to know they'd lost their lives to a war the men they worked for tried to hide? They started fighting for their voice to be heard above threats of silence and labels of radium whore. Their death dealers joined the hordes, and they died before justice was served, and they'll never know. They still glow, those ghost girls. Ghost girls, they'll never know. Thank you.
I think there's going to be a lot of Googling about them.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
They're the reason why we have workplace health and safety. That
Right.
is the reason why. So,
There you go.
mm.
That's amazing. Oh, what incredible women, and what an incredible woman to have written about that,
Thank
to
you.
really put yourself in that place.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Emma, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for my support network. From everything from my friends who I live with, to my friends back in Australia, to my parents, to my family. They are incredible, and they support me 100% no matter what I set my mind to, and it's usually pretty extreme. So they're with me every step of the way, no matter where I walk in the world. So yeah, my support network.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And we've got loads of, I'm crying. Beautiful Emma, gorgeous Emma. This was absolutely stunning. Have so many goosebumps. So many people messaging in.
Thank you.
And nice double piano vibes. Yes. Cool. So, Emily Ann, what's your second
I'm
song?
going to be annoying and just tune my guitar whilst talking
No,
about my
let's
second
go
song.
for it. That's absolutely fine. If you need, I can
Just-
actually chat to people anyway. So
Oh my god, yes.
we've got some lovely.
Do it.
Oh, Lydia, Wonderful writing, Lyd. I was really caught up in the story. So proud of you performing on stage at last. Yes, absolutely. Beautiful, Lydia. Do keep writing in. It's so lovely to hear what everyone thinks as well. This song is always great. This is Mr. Marocco. I'm really struggling to Marocco. I want to say it in Japanese. Marocco. Marocco. And oh wow, we have someone from New Zealand as well.
Oh my
We've
gosh.
got Carla Arkless. Wow, Emma, that's amazing. Hi from New Zealand, by the way. And Susan says lovely song story as well. Yes.
I'm all tuned.
Yay!
Okay, so this next song is called Alone in Madrid, and I think literally like 2 weeks before the first lockdown, I went to Madrid by myself, and it was like a week before that, I was like, I'm going to Madrid. And I used the money that I saved up from working over Christmas, and I just needed like a break from London, from uni, just I was like, I'm going. And it was honestly one of the best choices I've made, because it's going like traveling by yourself, and I wanted to practice my Spanish because I'm half Venezuelan and I don't really speak Spanish, which is quite bad, but I wanted to practice that. And it was just because when you're traveling by yourself, you don't have a schedule, you don't need to rely on anyone. So I don't read, and I read a book in 1 week, and I say that in the song, but like it was such like it's not like I found myself moment, kind of, but not really. But like, yeah, it was like such an amazing trip. And I got back and it was like 1:30 in the morning, and I was like, I need to write a song. And I did. And I basically wrote this in like a day. So, yeah.
Oh,
I tried to be a better me, read an entire book in just 1 week, took in each moment like it was my last. No one thought about you or my past. Sat on the steps and looked out at the lake, and all my stress, yeah, the wind just blew it away. I didn't think that I could be this happy. No one thought about you, I could see. Oh, 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 for the first time since I was a kid. Oh, 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 with the weight off my shoulder, feels like the first time I've lived. Oh, 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 yeah, I really needed this. Just some time alone in Madrid. It's like the air wasn't hard to breathe. Watch the sun go down, this isn't like me. Well, I guess I've never really known who I am, and I can never really understand why. So I booked a flight to get away, a change of location, no explanation, but it helped me escape. My eyes were caught, fixated by the pretty lights and sunset skies, but I thought about you and I. Oh, 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 for the first time since I was a kid. Oh, 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 with the weight of my shoulders, feels like the first time I've lived. Oh, 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 yeah, I really needed this. Just some time alone in Madrid. Just some time alone. Just some time alone. Oh, 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 for the first time since I was a kid. Oh, 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 with the weight of my shoulders, feels like the first time I've lived. Oh, 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 yeah, I really this. Just sometime alone in Madrid. Just sometime alone. Just sometime alone in Madrid. Thank you.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. Stunning. Emily Ann, what are you grateful for?
You guys literally said what I was literally going to say. I think I was literally going to say what you were saying. The whole support that my family and my friends, they don't doubt me for a second. They wouldn't even think like, no, don't go down the music path. They were like, yes, we'll help you improve and all this. And I'm great. Also, one thing as well, what I love about what my parents do, whenever I perform, they're so honest, brutally honest, but I love it because I'm always like, I want to improve, and they will be honest. They'll be like, that wasn't as good as you can be, which, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I thought it was good, but like, that is that support that I love. It's like being honest and still, and people who I live with now and my friends and just everyone, I'm surrounded by like incredible people, and especially throughout lockdown, just being reminded of that, you're like, wow, I'm so incredibly lucky, like who I'm surrounded by. So yeah, basically the same what you guys said. But yeah,
You deserve it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Lydia.
Hello.
Yay. What's next?
What's next? Yeah, indeed. This is like it's more like a scene, I suppose. I was kind of I wrote this early this year. Still early this year, but you know what I mean. And it's kind of like a play with like dialogue, kind of, you know, how that can build kind of tension, tell you a lot about a character without actually saying, you know, I like the idea of playing between, you know, telling and not saying, or what can you say without, you know, in the gaps sort of thing. Yeah, like inspired, I guess, from an image of like suburbia, and I like the idea of making the everyday kind of extraordinary, because it should be extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, okay.
Great.
And also I realise I have no titles for any of these, so I need to get on that. Yeah.
It's the hardest thing to do.
I can imagine. Yeah, I can
The
imagine.
extraordinary.
Totally acceptable.
I think you said it though. You said the extraordinary in suburbia.
I like that. Okay.
I mean, you said it.
Yeah. we're gonna write that down. This is extraordinary in suburbia. Yeah. Okay. Sunlight streamed in through the kitchen window, dappled by the overhanging maple tree on the front lawn. The branches were disturbed by a high-firing newspaper slung onto the grass by the boy cycling past on his rounds. Next door's sprinkler gave the air a fine mist, a slow hiss as it rotated, just catching the battered board sheet. Neighbours went to collect their post, waving as they wheeled their bins back from the curb, chatting over steaming cups of coffee, checking the weather outside. Hair was pinned up in rollers, and garage doors were being opened and tables set up outside in preparation. Paper plates and napkins in bright patterns were arranged and weighted down with items to hand as they flapped in the breeze. Toys that lay scattered on lawns were reluctantly picked up and carried inside, lawns mowed and bunting strung up precariously over door frames of blue tack and tape. The day of the annual street party had arrived. Jim stared out through the window of the kitchen sink, a fresh poured cup of coffee halfway to his lips, brow furrowed. He's been at it for a couple of hours now. His wife Barbara raised her head a fraction in her husband's direction, gaze still focused on the copy of Reader's Digest she was making her way through, lounging on the beige velveteen sofa the other side of the room. What's that? That bloke in the road. What bloke in the road? Jim, agitated, continued to look out the window whilst casting glances at the sofa, shifting his weight between the balls of his feet, coffee cup swaying in his hand. Have you not seen? He's turfing the road outside our house. Who has? I don't know. I remember Bill saying something about a street party, but this is a bit much, isn't it? Christ, I've got work in half an hour. How am I going to get out the drive? Barbara licked forefinger and thumb as she turned the page to the recipes section. Why, is there something wrong with the car? She said over her shoulder, calculating the time it would take to walk to the store and back. Jim stared at her aghast. No, have you been listening to a word I've said? I'm talking about the bloody lawn in the road. It's blocking our driveway. His outstretched arm pointing in the direction of the street as though ushering it impatiently into the house. Oh, maybe you can borrow Bill's car. Barbara turned to look at him then, folding down the corner of her page and walked over to the kitchen, bypassing Jim as she filled up a glass with water from the sink. She looked out at brightly coloured balloons being tied to every available anchor point down the road. I don't want to borrow Bill's car. I want to use my own bloody car. Oh, give me strength. This is the last thing I need. He practically hopped about the kitchen as he rounded up his keys, wallet, filled up the thermos, checked the time on his watch. It's just a bit of fun, dear. It's only for one day. Smiling over the glass, leaning against the sink, the eye in the centre of the storm. I wish they'd asked us first. Whose big idea was it to put it in front of our house? Pulling his jacket off the hook on the back of the door and shoving his arms through the sleeves, he turned and met her gaze. She returned it. Well, they did, dear, at the street party committee. I did ask you if you wanted to come along, but you said you were busy. Actually, now I think about it, it was Bill's.
I don't know about you, but I am just transported there. Like,
Yeah.
I'm there. I can see it all. I can see the wallpaper. Like you said, just, without saying it, you can see it. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Really good.
Thanks, guys.
What are you grateful for, Lydia?
Oh my goodness. Well, I was thinking about this, and there's so many things to be grateful for. Like, it's been a tough year, but there's been so many sort of silver linings. Having support of family, friends, colleagues. Hello. and having the sort of opportunity to join the writing course that I started in September. Actually moving things online has actually been a big win for me, because it meant I could actually join and carve out the time to actually do this. I find it a real struggle to be creative sometimes, and actually this is the moment. It seems to be the moment where it's kind of working for me. So yeah, really grateful for that.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Just having a little catch up here. Where are we? So, I'm going to call him Marokoko-san. Says, I'll just write things here. So that you have to read my name wrong now. So I'm going to call you Marokoko-san instead. There you go. Estelle says, love the song. That was amazing, Emily. Woo, from the Chocolats. And the Chocolats are amazing as well. They played here a few times. Amazing. Everyone is so talented, y'all. Amazing, amazing song, Emily. And guitar playing too. Good stuff. Liz is coming in. Oh, this is my last song. So this is a song called Home, Is Where the Heart Is. And it's actually about the struggle that my husband and I have. We've been together for 16 years, and it's about him wanting to move up north and me being from London. And then he wants to live by the sea, but then I want to be by the sea. But then it's kind of changed now. But still, it's always this, there's always that push and pull. It's like your characters. We fall into that. And but the reality is that, home is actually where we are. It's not about where we want to be and what we can see. It's about, that I'm happy in myself and he's happy in his self, and then together we can be happy together, and that's kind of what it boils down to in this song. And in my life. So this is Home. I love the city, and you love the sea. I wanna be near people, your isolated dream. What life are we living? Whose dreams did we steal? I wanna dance with the world, just me and my big dreams. Could I imagine just me in the sky? Right here I'm just catching rain. 'Cause home is where the heart is. A building of bricks can't stop the storm. 'Cause home is where the heart is. So come place your lips close to my own. You want to dive in, and I'll dip my toe. I know I need to try, or I'll never know. Sink into discomfort, pull myself out. I know that you're ready, but all I need is time. Could I imagine just me in the sky? Right here I'm just catching rain. 'Cause home is where the heart is. A building of bricks can't stop the storm. 'Cause home is where the heart is. So come place your lips close to my own. Thank you. Okay, so we end on our desire, just to set our intentions out into the universe, to the world. And actually, I was just saying to you guys, we had an artist on a few months ago. Oh, it was about 9 months ago now. And she was like, my desire is I want to have a houseboat. And we were like, yeah, so it shall be. And then literally a month later, she was like, I bought my houseboat. I was like, yes, it's working. So I desire lots of, no. What do I desire? I desire forgiveness for my body. I think I struggle sometimes with my body because it sometimes fights me. It doesn't work the way I want it to work sometimes. And I think my desire is to just be a bit gentler with myself and be softer to myself and be like, you know what? your ovaries are hurting and that's okay, and love them for doing what they're doing. My blood is clotting and it's not doing the things that it's supposed to be doing. But you know what? We'll figure it out. And the body is also amazing because I'm standing up and I'm using my hands so I think it's just about being, my desire is that I love my body more. Yeah. That's my desire.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Emma, what's your last song going to be?
Ooh, it's another co-write with the amazing David Boyden.
Amazing.
Shout out to David Boyden. So this was a fast write, because we were talking about those before. I just sat down at the piano. It was, my cousin had given me a beautiful book called All the Light We Cannot See. And it's just, the first half of it really stuck with me. And I was like, this would make an amazing song. And I'd been like stewing for ages. And then I just sat down at the piano one day and it just like poured out. And it's one of those like very quick writes. And then David came in and did his magic. And I think it's probably one of my proudest like children that I've sent into the music world. So this is called Light.
Amazing.
Okay.
She sits on the floor and studies the town with her fingers. Takes in its turns 'cause she knows there'll be dust tomorrow. For soldiers are coming to take what was once theirs. And they don't know that she sits in their crosshairs. She runs through the halls with her hands on the walls there to guide her. Tries not to fall 'cause the sirens have started screaming. Ticking gifts are tumbling down from the sky. And she knows there's never a soft place for them to die. For they'll explode with all the light she cannot see. And rain hell down on a stronghold that was already weak, while sanity and humanity retreat. They won't think about a girl and all the light she cannot see. She stumbles through rubble with hands out in front of her. Rivers of salt engrave her trembling face. Smoke is so thick she would struggle if she had sight. Her silent tears get lost out in the night. For they exploded with all the light she cannot see. Rained hell down on a stronghold that was already weak, whilst they watched their enemies retreat. They didn't think about a girl and all the light she cannot see.
She sits on the floor with the dust of her home in her lungs, trying to picture a smile from a time before it all went wrong. She's lost more than just her light. War has a way of stealing memories. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Emma, what do you desire?
I desire a hug from my parents. I haven't seen my parents in just about a year and a half. So since I moved from Australia over here, and they went through like a hellish year. And it was a post that I saw today, and that I think that's why this one resonates with me really today, was a friend of ours put up, sometimes you hug your children and the hug is more for you than it is for them. And my dad commented on it, and it just hit me that I was like, oh gosh, like, so no, I really want to hug my parents.
Yeah. So it shall be, and it will be. I bet your parents are in floods
They're
at
like
home. I'm
Yeah.
almost in floods.
It's like holding it together.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it will be, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, thank you so much. We're going to go
No,
around
thank
again just so
you. Thank you.
everyone knows where to find you. And great. Thank you. Emily Ann.
Yes. I don't think I need to tune. They're new strings, so.
It's fine. If you do, I can
I think I sound
do.
good. No, it sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so this is a song called Years Later. I don't actually know when I wrote this, but I always write about myself most of the time. And someone I know messaged me sort of out of the blue and was like, I've got a story to tell you. And I was like, tell me everything, spill the tea. And she told me about her and this guy who they've known each other for like 14 years, and every sort of like 7 years they'd meet up. And she met up with him, and she was like, oh my God, I really like him, etc. And all this happened, and she literally sent me like so much information. I literally got my songwriting book, and I was like, right, and I wrote like pages worth of stuff. And
It's
she
a
told me,
concept album.
yeah. But yeah, no, she told me so much, and I was like, I'm writing a song about this. And she told me in like, I can't remember when, it was like lunchtime, say, and I was like, in the evening, here's the voice note of the song, done, there you go, here's your song. And she's like, you need to play this at my wedding. And I was like, I got you, no. But yeah, it's called Years Later.
Electric waves takes me back to the cold London haze. You were there with all your friends, and we were both too scared to go up to one another, so we just waited. But the years just uncovered. And all these years later, no, I'm not scared. As long as I'm with you, 'cause right now I'm falling for your eyes, and I don't know how old feelings have traveled through time. Pull me closer, now your lips are up on mine, and I didn't expect is on my mind. And we didn't see it coming as it rippled through my skin. What was once so empty is now filled to the brim. And I've never felt this way before, and I've never wanted to end. It's like a train going back and forth, trying to relive each moment. And all these years later, no, I'm not scared. As long as I'm with you, 'cause right now I'm falling for your eyes, and I don't know how. Old feelings have traveled through time. Pull me closer, now your lips are up on mine. And I didn't expect this, now your love is on my mind. Miles away, said we'll take it slow. Wish we could stay in this moment, I know. So I'll just wait for your call and see where it'll go.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Emily Ann, what do you desire?
I was saying this earlier, and I will repeat it because I do not regret it. 2 things. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay.
I'm veggie, but chicken nuggets. That's okay. I don't know why. Somehow me and my flatmate always talk about chicken nuggets, and we're both veggie. It's really bad, but we move.
And and Macy's here actually, so
Yes.
you've both written a song
We did.
about chicken nuggets.
But it doesn't sound like chicken nuggets. It sounds like it's a really serious relationship song. But like deep down, it's about chicken nuggets, and it's great. I love it.
I think everyone needs to hear that.
I think that everyone does. My other thing is a tiny home. We'll never regret. I just want a tiny home. I'm tall though. I want a tall tiny home. That is what I want. And then I think in terms of music, I just want to do music and make a living out of it. And yeah.
So it shall be.
Because I can't do anything else, so just music.
So it shall be. Thank you, Emily Ann. Thank you. Lydia, what's your last excerpt? Is that the right word? It's not. Was it?
I think so.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, I reckon. I'm going to call this one Rosebud. And this is another like short scene. It's kind of playing around with the idea of like objects and how much like objects can like evoke a strong feeling or emotion or memory. So that's the idea. Okay. They sat on the mantelpiece, taking centre stage, protruding out of a cut glass decanter, faded red petals waving in the breeze from an overhead fan sweeping slowly across the ceiling. The plastic stems bent to fit into the container, a rigid bouquet jutting out towards the lamp in the middle of the room, bending towards the light. Yellowing newspaper cuttings encircled the shrine, a dazzling performance, such stage presence, timeless beauty. A thin layer of dust smeared on their leaves, wiped meticulously by lacquered, shaking hands. She stood back, pleased with her handiwork. Her eyes roved in reverence over the scene, basking in their praise, a smile playing across her lips. Patting her coiffed, pale curls in place, she came closer and gently, with one hand holding the neck of the decanter, taking care to avoid the chip on its edge, delicately pulled the flowers from their resting place. She clutched them tightly to her chest before bringing them to her nose, flowers crushed against her face as she breathed in deeply their musky perfume of Old Spice, Dettol and dust. She drank it all in before doubling over in a fit of raking coughs. Regaining composure, slowly she straightened her back, drawing herself up to full height with head held proudly, and turned to face the mirror on the dresser. The flowers bloomed before her as she held them with both hands and looked out. She could see them looking back at her, the endless swathes of crowds rippling up and down in their seats, hear the roaring in her ears. Brava, encore, good show. She took it gracefully, cradling the flowers in her arms and smiling serenely. A silver tear fell slowly from the corner of her eye, landing on a rosebud. Thanks, guys.
Oh, yes. So pretty. And it's so nice to actually have like a different format as well, like just using like a wordsmith but in a different way as well, and it's really inspiring. It's beautiful. Thank you, Lydia.
Thank
So
you.
Lydia, what do you desire?
Oh, many things. No. I would love to continue writing, make it part of my everyday, extraordinary everyday, and I would love to, because I want this to happen, get something published. I would love that. That would be the writing dream.
Yes, so it shall be, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lydia.
No worries.
We have come to an end. Thank you so much, you guys. And thank you everyone who's also watching from home. Good work, Dom. It's been amazing. We have a venue full of incredible women here, all women crew. So big up to you guys as well for putting on such a great night. Whoop, whoop. And just before we leave, where can we find you? Where can we hear your music? Yeah.
Currently nothing is out. Oh no. So I'm planning to release actually all of the songs that I played here today later this year.
Amazing.
That's the plan. But you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at I am Emma Music. Facebook has official tagged on the end, but yeah, that's me.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing yourself and music with us as well.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Emily Ann, where can we find you?
I also don't have anything out, but I want to.
Yes, your
it
two
will
desires.
happen.
Yes, it shall be. It shall be.
But you can find me on Instagram at emilyann.music.
emilyann.music.
Yes, with it and with an E, because I'm like that.
All about the E's.
Exactly.
Amazing. Thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm
amazing.
so happy I'm here.
Yeah, I'm just blown away by all of you. Incredible. And Lydia, where can we find you?
Oh, well, it's bloody exciting. In a few months, you can find me right here. Come say hi.
Yes.
I love to chat.
That's
it's happening.
Oh, yes, the boiler room. We're going to be open again.
Yes.
Oh, exciting, so exciting. And me, I'm Erika. You can find me on probably officially erika.co.uk, and then you can go to all my socials there, because I'm the one that's like, oh, all different names. So we haven't got all the time to go through all of them. So yeah, I also do the Creative Courage Circle every month. So do pop by and see incredible female creatives spilling all their creativity everywhere, which is wonderful. Thank you so much to the Boiler Room for hosting this incredible show, and also do keep popping back all this week. There's shows, there's in talks with loads of incredible women all week as well. You're doing it up to the 8th, is that right? The 7th? Yeah, until the 7th. So come along. They're free events. Please donate as well if you've got that. pop it in there just to keep us all here and keep us doing what we're doing. And that's it for us. Thank you very much. Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
That's an amazing